everyone, welcome back to another bullet train devlog. Before I start going over what I did last week, there are some things I can announce. The Steam store page for the game is now active, so I will provide the link in the video description, and I would be really happy if you would check it out and maybe wishlist the game. As part of the Steam store page, I also will release a second video, which is just a trailer of the game. I had that ready already last week, but I felt like it only makes sense once the Steam store page is actually also released. So this will be a separate video. But now let's get to it. Last week, after getting the Steam store page up, I took a look at the elemental effects and how they are displayed on the towers, and I added several new weapons. But let's at first get to the elemental effects. So for ice, for example, you see that some ice crystals will now appear on the tower. They will be removed again once the tower is destroyed, but it should just display that this tower is now afflicted by ice. The same is true with fire damage. So basically towers will start to burn as soon as they are afflicted with fire damage. Then for the final damage type, which is nature, there, as soon as towers get hit, there will be a green particle that will fly towards your train. That should just display the healing property of the nature damage. Currently, it will not scale if you are getting healed more, but that is something I would really like to have in the future as well. These were the three elemental effects. So, regarding the weapons, I for now created a base for all weapons I currently feel like I want to have in the game, and they are somewhat functional. However, a lot of them still require quite a bit of touch-up. My goal also was to create weapons in each elemental category, that there is a balance throughout all the different elemental damage types. And I will not go over every one of them individual, but you will likely see it throughout the next few videos. However, of course, I will give you some demonstrations. So, for example, one of the simple nature damage types is this simple root, which I want to animate at some point as well, which will just fire small little wood spikes. And these will, as said, be then nature damage. So let me get damaged. Then once I hit things, I get healed by it. All of these new weapons also, of course, still need balancing, because currently these roots do the same amount of damage as the ballista. But of course, that would also heal you for 10 health points every time. So that might be too much. Another thing in the same category are these fireballs, which will just shoot fireballs forward. While these are more on the smaller side of weapons, there are of course also some bigger ones. So for example, the meteor orb. Currently it still shoots that meteor from the train, but it should later just fall from the sky. This is of course a way bigger weapon. For sure also still needs some adjustments, because that is a bit ridiculous currently. But yeah, that is the current state, so there's a first draft of them in, but all weapons still need another iteration to really get them to the functionality I want. But with that, that was already everything I did last week. For next week, I will focus on the weapons, getting another iteration in there, and then take a look at the other upgrades and trinkets I still want to add to the game. But yeah, other than that, feel free to check out the trailer, and as always, if you have any questions, suggestions, or just general feedback, feel free to leave it in the comments. I will see you next week. Bye.